Dear viewers, Namaskar. Welcome to this edition of News Bulletin. In the headlines today, Olympian hockey stars from Sundargarh felicitated by SAIL, Rourkela Steel Plant. Propane-fueled sub-entry nozzle preheating assembly commissioned at CCM1 of SMS1 of SAIL RSP. And Rajbhasha Pakhwara observation commences at SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant. Now, the news in detail. SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant felicitated the Olympian hockey stars of Odisha and their coaches in a function organized on 4th September 2021 at DIC's Conference Hall, Manthan. Mr. A.K. Kundu ED Mines, Mr. S.R. Suryavanshi ED Works, Mr. A.K. Pradhan ED Projects and Mr. P.K. Satpathy ED PNA felicitated Birendra Lakra, the vice captain of the bronze medal winning Indian team in Tokyo Olympics, and celebrated alums of SAIL Hockey Academy of RSP along with the other star hockey players of Sundargarh who shone in Tokyo Olympics, namely Deep Grace Ekka and Namita Topo. In the ceremony, Mr. C.R. Mahapatra, CGM in charge, MM and Marketing, Dr. B.K. Hota, CMO in charge, MNHS, and Mr. Praveen Nigam, CGM in charge, FNA, also felicitated Mr. Peter Tirki and Mr. Raju Kant Saini for both distinguished coaches of SAIL Hockey Academy, Mr. Bijay Lakhra, coach of the other celebrated member of bronze medal winning Indian men's team, Amit Rohidyas, and Mr. Tej Kumar Khes, coach of Deep Grace Ekka. They were presented with the tokens of appreciations and uttriyas. Many chief general managers as well as friends and family members of the players were present on the occasion, while a large number of senior officers and employees of the steel plant joined the ceremony virtually. At the outset of a video message of Mr. Amrendru Prakash, Director in charge Bokaro Steel Plant and Rourkela Steel Plant was screened. The DIC highly applauded the achievements of each of the stalwarts and reiterated the commitment of the company to further promote sports and games activities so as to bring more glory to the nation in future. The players shared their rich and memorable experiences of the Tokyo Olympics. They also thanked SAIL management for the recognition. The stars who have a huge fan following across the nation also answered many interesting questions asked by those present on the occasion. Mr. B.K. Raut, GM in charge, PHS and SW, coordinated the entire program, while Ms. Archana Satpathy, DGM PR and COC, anchored. The enterprising employees of Continuous Casting Machine 1 of Steel Melting Shop 1 of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant have successfully developed and installed a propane-fueled sub-entry nozzle preheating assembly at CCM1. This has greatly helped in reducing the maintenance and downtime, thereby improving the production and performance of the unit. In the continuous casting process, molten steel from the ton dish is steamed into the water cooling mold through sub-entry nozzle. The lateral parts of the SEN from where the metal discharges remains submerged below the meniscus of molten steel in the mold. In order to prevent cracking and breaking of the SEN due to thermal shocks, same has to be preheated to a temperature of above 450 degrees centigrade. Preheating of the SENs at both the ton dish cars of Continuous Casting Machine 1 of Steel Melting Shop 1 was being carried out using mixed gas and air, which around 2 to 3 hours. Preheating using mixed gas as fuel required frequent maintenance of the burners, valves, hoses, pipelines and headers due to chokage of condensate and high preheating time. To overcome the bottlenecks, a team comprising Mr. Celestine Tirki, GM in charge SMS1, and Mr. A.V. Pradeep, GM Mechanical SMS1, took up the challenge of installing and commissioning a propane gas fueled SEN preheater at Tandish Car 1 of CCM1 under the guidance of Mr. R.K. Patra, CGM SMS1. The other members who assisted in the project were Mr. S.N. Raut, Senior Manager, Mr. J.K. Mahapatra, Manager, Mr. P. Sachit Rao, and Mr. J.D. Mahapatra, both the senior technicians of SMS1. Using in-house resources, the team prepared seamless pipes with required dimensions for carrying propane gas from the tapping point at the intermediate platform, non-drive side, to the Tandish Car 1 preheating location. Similarly, for compressed air, MS pipes were laid from the tapping point at the intermediate platform, non-drive side, to the SEN preheater location. The pipelines were terminated using stainless steel ball valves. For safety and flexibility of positioning of the SEN propane burner, SS coagulated heat-resistant hoses of appropriate sizes were used. A filter regulator lubricator unit was also installed in the compressed air pipelines to remove particulate impurities, moisture, and to regulate the air pressure required for a preheating flame. The flame adjustment of the burner can be done by using the SS ball valves near the burner, as well as by the adjustment sleeve provided on the propane burner. For ensuring safety, shut-off ball valves have also been provided at the source tapping points for positive isolation of the fuel gas and compressed air in case of any eventuality. In a function organized on 30th August 2021, Mr. Pankaj Kumar, the then ED Works, commissioned the in-house developed facility in the presence of Mr. S.R. Suryavanshi, ED Operations, Mr. R.K. Patra, CGM SMS1, and other senior officers of the department. Rajbhasha Pakwara observation commenced at SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant on 1st September with Hindi storytelling series by children in an audio-video mode. Children of employees and RSP-run schools are participating enthusiastically in the event. The story has a narration of life of Lord Krishna, history of famous Pattacharit of Odisha, and many more. In the open-ended storytelling series, the children are bringing about interesting facts and tales. Rourkela Steel Television Center of Public Relations Department has been instrumental in giving final shape to the self-made video sent by the children and uploading it in RSP's YouTube channel. The event is being coordinated by Rajbhasha Unit under Public Relations Department. Various events have been organized for different group of people like slogan writing, essay writing, poster making to mark the event. Prizes for the winners of different competition will be handed over at the Hindi Divas to be held on 14 September. That's all for the news today. Namaskar.